The Lord be with you, and a warm welcome to you from all of us here at Powerscourt with Kilbride. I am sending you greetings from the dappled shade this morning, the increasing shade of the beautiful chestnut tree over my head. Every single day the leaves begin as small little umbrellas that expand outwards and outwards. Every day there is more prolific life around me here. I'm delighted to welcome you back onto this sunny bench. Not too long ago I posted our service for last week. So here I am again, and would you believe that it is Palm Sunday? And with only a week to go to Easter Sunday, I really don't know how that crept up on us. Just wanted to share a little reflection with you today. Some of the words of Alistair Begg, a very short message that just challenges us to maybe rethink the hosannas that we say on this Palm Sunday. But first, and as always, let's just pause together in this small square, in the presence of the Christ, the ever-living Christ, and let's pause in prayer. When they had come near Jerusalem and had reached Bethphage at the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent 2 disciples, saying to them, "Go into the village ahead of you, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything to you, just say this, 'The Lord needs them,' and he will send them immediately." This took place to fulfill what had been spoken through the prophet, saying, "Tell the daughter of Zion, look, your king is coming to you, humble and mounted on a donkey, and on a colt, the foal of a donkey." The disciples went and did as Jesus had directed them. They brought the donkey and the colt and put their cloaks on them, and he sat on them.
A very large crowd spread their cloaks on the road, and others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. The crowds that went ahead of him and that followed were shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest heaven!" When he entered Jerusalem, the whole city was in turmoil, asking, "Who is this?" The crowds were saying, "This is the prophet Jesus from Nazareth in Galilee."
The other day, I received what I now call a divine download. It arrived, as it always does, unexpectedly, out of the blue, but resonated more deeply than an awful lot of the other surface thoughts and things that I would have going on at the time. It was a small little sentence made of a few words that I wanted to share with you this morning. And they simply said, "It doesn't matter." And I was presented with a flash image of the last 6 years of being here among these amazing people in Powers Court with Kilbride. It seemed as if the voices from heaven were saying to me, "Ask yourself, really, how much of it do you remember?" And I had to say to myself, well, I remember some of the major events that we have had. I don't remember the individual services. I don't remember the dotting of the I's and the crossing of the T's and the getting of everything right and perfect as a sign of succeeding, as a sign of success, as opposed to failure. We're very quick to jump to these conclusions. I don't remember all the minuscule details. But what I do remember is the depth of friendship and fellowship right in the heart space here that I have felt in my connection with the people of this goodly place. And it was an aha moment, because "it doesn't matter" meant that sometimes we can get so caught up in the minuscule details and indeed in the pressures from this world and what it sees as being successful and what it tells you is failure. We can lend ourselves so greatly to that we actually forget. And I was brought to the side of the streets on Palm Sunday in my own mind, and that procession of our Lord and the people shouting Hosanna. And I wanted to ask you this morning to have a look at your Hosanna. Because when you say Hosanna out to our Lord, what type of a place are you coming from? And what are you asking or expecting from him? The people of Jerusalem in the day of our Lord were an oppressed people, and particularly the Jewish faith. They were always looking for the Messiah to come. They were always looking for a relief from their suffering. And today, in our present world, we within our own lives are also looking for that type of relief. We're looking for prosperity. We're looking for success. We're looking for peace. We're looking for joy. But the challenge for us today is that it needs to come from the right place, and it needs to be the right idea of success. And that's where my little story from the past week comes into its own. Let me read to you the words of Alistair Begg when we think this morning of our particular Hosanna, the Hosanna that we say to our Lord. You know, what are our hopes in that Hosanna, and what is the basis for them? So Alistair Begg says this: as Palm Sunday approaches, we are in danger of being like the crowd. Their cries on the first Palm Sunday are contemporary cries as well. We want to be free of oppression, or our bosses, or our spouses, our systems in society. We want safety and prosperity. We want success. And these expectations, longings, and concerns can drive us to employ our voices in what are familiar yet empty chants of religious orthodoxy, without ever understanding the reality to which they point. When we shout Hosanna, let us recognise that Jesus didn't come to give us political liberation, safety and success. He didn't come to make us heads of state. He didn't come to overthrow our governments. He didn't come to fill our pocketbooks. He came to serve and to give his life as a ransom, paving the way for ultimate liberation and everlasting life. They're the words of Alistair Begg, and can I just add to them what I've reflected on beneath this? We may think that we want success, but what type of success do we want? And what does it look like? When it's all whittled down to the basics, what we really want is communion with one another, joy and health, a clear appreciation of the present moment and abundance which lies within it, which we don't often see. Jesus himself is the key to that understanding. On Palm Sunday, when we find ourselves shouting Hosanna, let us remember what we're really asking for, what we're really hoping for in that Hosanna. We are asking for new life through him. We are asking for new eyes to see the present moment through him, and casting aside the anxiety of what has been or what is yet to come, for fear that we lose this present moment with him. We are asking that we see him as the accompaniment in our lives into every situation. We are asking that when he opens our eyes, as he opens our mouths in Hosanna, we may see that he is truly there with us in the given moment.